Do you have plans for the weekend? I know how busy everyone's life is, and so it's nice when the weekend is approaching so that we can hopefully have a little bit of break from our regular routine. And so today what I want to talk about is a couple things I'd like for you to do over the weekend so that you can supercharge your next week so that you can continue this healthy role of, changing one, like making one healthy change and hopefully growing that so that you can keep the change from this week and maybe implement a small change from next week. So I really like my Sundays in particular because that's a little bit of a quiet day for me. And I hope that one day on the weekend, like I said, you have a little bit of a break from your routine. I ask my clients to be thinking about what's working and what's not working. So doing some big thinking in terms of, your healthy habits. What am I enjoying? What am I reaping the benefits of? What am I feeling? And what's not working? What can I change? What obstacles do I have? So think about what the obstacles might be and then think of 3 possible solutions. So maybe you're looking back on this week and thinking, man, I did well except for I really jammed up lunches. Like I didn't plan properly. So if you do a little bit of pre-thought on that, you can probably solve the problem by planning better. Or maybe it's like, I didn't get my workouts in. And maybe things like, packing your gym bag or planning your workout the night before, that will help you get that workout done. Or saying, hey, I tried to plan my workouts for after work and I just ran out of time. My time got eaten up during the day and before long it was 8 p.m. So maybe you're going to plan the workouts for the morning. So just making those extra plans makes, just doing some thinking, some big thinking about what's working, what's not working, that's going to really help you. Also thinking about why am I doing this? I'm just actually planning my first podcast on, what your reason why is. And when you don't want to get out of bed in the morning, but you think about the big reason why, it helps you get out of bed to make those healthy choices. So my Sundays are good for big thinking. I hope that and it doesn't mean, I have to think all day long. Even spending like 10 to 15 minutes, maybe when I'm walking the dog, actually, that's when I do my best thinking. So you might also want to assess your progress. Now, this is not for everybody. I want you to definitely assess your progress in terms of non-scale victories because it's really good to assess, hey, my clothes are fitting better. I can get up and down the stairs without huffing and puffing. Or, I've got more mobility in my shoulders. You may or may not want to get on the scale. Some people, it turns out to be like a horrible thing to be getting on the scale because it can just mess with your head, especially if you think, I should have lost 5 pounds by now, or I should have lost 1 pound, or whatever, I should have gained a pound, and you didn't. There's less people that need to gain weight. But in any case, sometimes getting on the scale just negates all those good feelings. So if you're one of those people that the scale really messes with your head, just don't get on it. Throw it away or put it in the closet and then get on it another time. If you're someone that can get on the scale and connect the dots between what's been going on, like you might get on the scale and say, my weight is up, but I just had my treat meal, so that makes sense. Then you're good. And oh, by the way, when you have your treat meal or when you have extra carbohydrates, this is what happens. When you ingest 1 gram of carbohydrate, your body holds on to 4 grams of water. Have you gained fat? No. Have you gained weight? Possibly, but it's probably just water weight. So after your treat meal, or after you kind of deviate from your normal meal plan, just drink a ton of water and that will flush out that excess water. So don't be thinking, just because, I deviated from my plan yesterday that, oh man, I've immediately put on this fat. No, you probably haven't put on fat, but you probably put on a little bit of water. And if that water just throws you off your game plan, so it's like, oh, what the heck, I might as well just keep eating make these bad choices, then you're going to kind of continue to sabotage yourself. So taking stock of the non-scale victories is very important. Getting on the weigh scale, not so important. For me, I'm kind of weird. I do weird stuff. Like I count macros just because I like to quantify, and I'm kind of a human guinea pig. I like to get on the scale every day because it helps me to connect the dots between my workouts and what I ate and drank the previous day so that I really get to know my body. But the number I'm not really fixated on. That, like, I just want to take that scale and take the demon out of it. Like, sometimes we just make it the demon. Sometimes, we're in love with the scale. So we just have to take away the power from the scale and just use it as a tool. Okay, that's my rant on the scale. I do suggest having a treat meal. And a treat meal is awesome because for a couple reasons, it gives you a little bit of a mental break from, healthy eating. Not to say that your treat meal doesn't have to be you have to have junk food. But if you're on a meal plan, having a treat meal where you're really not measuring or counting is really a nice mental break. It also, having an increased caloric intake for a meal helps to increase leptin levels, and leptin levels they can decrease up to 50% after 7 days of dieting or calorie restriction, and so increasing those leptin levels helps you to lose fat. So a treat meal is great, but the rules are 60 minutes of relaxed eating where you're enjoying, you're not, stuffing yourself for 24 hours. You don't wake up early and go to bed late and eat every second in between. But that treat meal can be a nice break. So I suggest having a treat meal. It could be on the weekend. I know my client Lee, her treat meal is on a Wednesday night, and that's what works for her. So it's what works for you. So that's really good. Try on the weekend to prepare for the week, not just the mental prep, but having, stocking your cupboards, maybe looking at what am I going to eat this week, doing a bit of meal prep, maybe slicing and dicing a little bit, maybe planning your lunches, maybe planning your breakfast, maybe penciling in when you're going to do your workouts, whether they're at home or somewhere else. But having a plan, that is the key. And my most successful clients are the ones that do the thinking before. It's called TOMA, top of mind awareness. You do not have to be obsessed with, your workouts and health, but it does have to be in the forefront of your mind so that you can, plan for success. And if you look back on the week and see what worked, you can repeat that. And if you look back on the week and say, well, that didn't really work, then you can, strategize and have 2 or 3 solutions for every obstacle that you ran into last week. So that's my suggestion looking ahead to the weekend. Now, I know not everybody has a weekend off. Typically, the majority of us have a little bit of time and a little bit less, scheduled time, a little bit more me time. So that's why I'm here to encourage you to look back on the successes and plan for more success next week. Have an awesome day today, and we'll see you next time.